Threat assessment teams don't have time for scattered spreadsheets, buried emails, or disconnected systems. In this demo, you'll see how Behavioral Case Manager helps schools streamline student safety workflows and take action faster, all from one centralized platform. We are on the home page. In the center of the screen, you can see the CSTAG model. CSTAG is one of the behavioral threat assessment processes included in Behavioral Case Manager. We also offer the NTAC process. Both of these are pre-built into our case management system. We also have several pre-built state-specific models as well. If you're using a specific or custom process that is not already built into our system, we can work with your district to build out your model so you can still use this program. Another program that is pre-built into the system is our Suicide Risk Screening and Management and the Columbia Suicide Severity Rating Scale. Within that form is the Safety Screening. On our homepage, you can see that I have a number of open assigned cases, and over to the right, there are also several task tabs. Those are some of the key features of Behavioral Case Manager. When you're working through cases in the system, you may have a team of several people involved, especially in your threat assessment process, and different individuals may be responsible for different tasks. This provides a clear way to keep everything consolidated in one system so you know who is responsible for what as you move through that threat assessment process. You can see not only tasks assigned to you, but also tasks you have created if you're the case manager, along with who those tasks were assigned to. Across the top, you can also see the different tabs: Cases, Teams, Analytics, and Admin. There are user permissions in the system. A super user or super admin will see the Analytics and Admin tabs, while a building-level user may only see the Home, Cases, and Teams tabs. When you get started with the system, if you are an admin user, we can connect to a student information system, whether it's PowerSchool, Genesis, or Infinite Campus. Typically, we can connect to any type of student information system using Clever or ClassLink. Once the connection is in place, we can ingest the student's name, grade, and ID through a one-way sync, so nothing is pushed back into the student information system. After that is set up and running, we create teams. The Teams tab is especially useful because you can create as many teams as you want in the system. You can create a threat assessment team, a crisis team, a suicide screening team, or a Title IX team. You can have as many teams as you need in the system. We also have a small guidance feature built in. The guidance feature appears at several points throughout the system. Under the Teams feature, it provides guidance on who should be on your threat assessment team, when to involve local law enforcement, and where the team receives potential threats from. The Guidance tab can be edited and changed, so it is customizable. For example, within the threat assessment process, you can place your threat assessment or suicide screening policy under the Guidance tab. Under the Teams tab, you can also log your team meetings. This is a helpful feature because it allows you to see all meetings that have been logged and identify which cases were discussed during those meetings. You can also see what files were attached, whether there are any tasks connected to those meetings, and what notes were included. Again, everything can be kept in one safe and secure system. Now I'm going to move over to the Administrative tab because this provides a high-level overview of your district. Under this Administrator tab, you can quickly see where reports are coming from, which building they are associated with, how many assignments each building has, and the persons of concern. In this example, we can see that Thad Woodson has 10 cases. As I mentioned earlier, Behavioral Case Manager is used for more than just threat assessment. That does not mean each one is only a threat assessment case. It could include any type of safety documents, whether that is suicide screening or a bullying investigation. Using this quick information as a district admin, I can go to the Cases tab, filter, and search for Thad to see what kinds of cases Thad is involved with. Once I search Thad's cases, I can quickly see the type of model. In this example, many of the cases are under the NTAC model. I can also see that they are not yet set in terms of classification, which means the team has not determined the threat level on those cases. As I scroll further down, I can also see that Thad had a suicide screening and management case back in October of 22, as well as another suicide screening case in 23. That makes this a very powerful tool in Behavioral Case Manager because it allows us to connect those dots quickly and easily for a student we may be concerned about. While we're here under the Cases tab, you can also apply filters. You can filter by date range, by building, or by team. We can also look at transfer by district, either within district or out of district. The case management program supports transfers within our buildings. For example, if you have a threat assessment that is still an open case from an elementary school and the student transitions to middle school, that case can automatically transfer to the middle school team. Another example is when one school district has a threat assessment and a neighboring school district also uses the case management system. If both districts use Case Manager, the cases can be transferred between them. I have a client in Michigan where an entire county uses this system so they can transfer cases. The last two items we're going to review are more administrative features. When we look at what is included with Behavioral Case Manager, we've already discussed the CSTAG model, the NTAC model, the Suicide Risk Screening model, and the Columbia form that are pre-built. We also have the Wisconsin Threat Assessment Protocol, the Pennsylvania PCCD Threat Assessment Management Form, and the Florida model. Those are 3 state-specific models that are included and can be imported into your case manager. We also offer a student absence intervention plan, a Title IX grievance procedure, transition planning, non-suicide self-harm, general bullying, and a progress monitoring template. We also include reintegration planning and student support, so there are additional templates you can use within this system to keep track of all your documentation and paperwork. And of course, we also have our Analytics tab. Again, this is more of an administrative feature that allows us to dive deeper into our cases. We can see how many cases we have in the system across all models. We can view the number of cases by grade, by ethnicity, by IEP 504 or free or reduced price lunches, and we can also see where our cases are coming from. If we want to break that down further and look at specific models, we can do that as well. For example, if we wanted to review a risk assessment within the last month or so, we could see how many cases we had within 3 cases, and how many were answering a specific question. Within the CSTAG model, we could also look at a specific threat classification. We can create custom charts to drill into the data. When selecting the model, we can choose the model, review the model version, select the chart type, and then customize the exact type of data we want to analyze. These are very advanced analytics that allow us to focus on exactly what we want to review. One of the final pieces I want to go through is what happens when we open a case. We're going to look at Cyril's case. This is an example of a threat assessment model, and this is what it looks like along the side. It's very intuitive. This is the CSTAG process. As you can see, this is not a system where you simply upload a document. Instead, it walks you through the CSTAG model. The same is true for the NTAC model, the risk assessment, the suicide screening, and any of the other processes I showed earlier. At the very bottom, under Attachments, is the association feature. This is where we can see what other cases the student was involved with. We can see that Cyril had a suicide risk screening, when it was created, which building Cyril was in, and what kind of case access was available. Because I have access to this case, I can open it. If I did not have access to the case, the system would direct me to the case manager overseeing Cyril's case. This is one of the biggest advantages districts see because as you continue using a behavioral case management system, it allows you to quickly see, with just a click, what kind of support has already been provided for the student and gives you a more holistic picture beyond just a threat assessment or suicide screening when you're also using the platform for some of the other less serious paperwork. It's all serious, but perhaps less serious than a threat assessment or a suicide screening. Thanks for watching this overview of Navigate 360's behavioral case management system. To learn more about how Navigate 360 helps schools support safer, more connected student outcomes, contact us today.